What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Mutual Connections. You already know. I'm your host, Chris Walcher. Today, we are hanging out with the man, the myth, the legend. I know you've seen him on the platform. We're going to get into it across all angles. My guy, Nicholas. Is it Howe? Nicholas Howe? All right, my man. And do you go by Nicholas or Nick?
I go by Nick.
You go by
Most of the
Nick?
time,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, and I live in that same kind of name world where I even changed it. My name on LinkedIn used to be Christopher, but every time someone would call me Christopher, I would just feel like, gosh, my mom is mad at me. So I was like, we gotta segue. Let's go back to Chris. So
Yeah, I have a lovely, funny story about that. When I first started doing coffee chats, one of the persons that I was regularly coffee chatting with always called me Nicholas. And they were the first person to call me Nicholas outside of me getting in trouble or outside of my grandfather calling my name.
yeah,
And I've kind of adopted this weird thing where it's like, it just sat right with that person in that relationship that we had where Nicholas just worked. And so when people ask me that in coffee chats, I'm like, I let you decide. I don't know how I sit with you. And I feel
yeah.
like, and I hope it doesn't feel like I'm flipping the script on whatever, but to me, I think it's very to me, it's very personable or personal to have you determine what feels natural for you
I
to call
like
me.
that. I like that.
But it's just worked. So some people call me Nicholas in our coffee chats now. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. If that's what I am to you, that's what I am to you. And
Let
I
me ask,
appreciate that.
do you feel like their choice of Nicholas or Nick kind of sets the tone on the nature of the dialogue? Like anybody who's calling me Christopher, when I felt like that was a very formal, like, well, we're about to have a professional talk. Like, let's mind our P's and Q's and not try to be so silly. But if you're going off the cuff, like, yo, what's up, Chris? Like, all right, we probably gonna have a good time today. Do you
Uh,
notice any difference in the
Mm-mm,
approach?
no, not really. At least not, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I kind of walk into the mindset where it's like, okay, this is how this person views me, but I'm still me in the sense
Yeah.
that I just show up how I'm going to show up. And if to that person, that's a very Nicholas thing to do or a Nick thing to do, no, like
I got
to
you. I got you. Well, you know
in
what?
a very roundabout way, no.
I'm gonna roll with Nick. All right.
That is fine.
You can call me Chris. All right. And I'm gonna roll with Nick.
If I call you Christopher, I feel like I'm mad at you.
Oh,
And I'm
dude, I
just,
I feel like we're both in trouble at that point. Come on, you know what I mean? Things just got serious,
yeah,
bro.
yes.
Just a little background scoop for the listeners. I had to tell this story real quick. Nick and I have been homies on the platform for what feels like ages. And we did have a coffee chat. And dude, it was supposed to just be one of those casual, like, yo, I got 15, 20 minutes. Let's connect. And just the conversation was so tremendous. And if like we were midway through a story and I'm peppering him with questions, and all of a sudden the 30-minute timer goes off, and we're both like, shoot, dude, I got to hop into another meeting.
Hmm.
And so, way and long overdue to finally get my boy on a platform where we can engage in long form dialogue and I can
Right.
hear this story. Cause come on, bro, I've been waiting months to get back on the horn for it. So, Nick, my guy, thank you for coming to hang out with me for a little bit.
No, thank you, man. It's been a testament to you. Thank you so very much for continuing to communicate with me on it's like, hey, I know we got to do this thing. I want to catch up. You haven't fallen off the radar. Life is busy. I totally respect it, but
Yeah.
thank you for continuing to put in the effort to want to make it happen. Like
Come on,
not
bro.
just the podcast in general, but to continue, catching up, man.
Well, we're
You,
friends, dude.
well, I
That's
know,
what you do with your friends, man. It does not feel like an effort. Sometimes you just shoot the ping or the comment like, "Yo, what
right?
up, my boy? Temperature check. How you living? Everything
Yes,
good?"
exactly. I
So,
appreciate that. But
dude, I love that.
thank you all the same.
Yeah, man.
And
Bro,
it's
how did
been,
we get like I feel like you know everybody that I know. And
yeah,
what was the birth of it? Was it Sherry? Was she the catalyst to this
we don't
nonsense?
we don't talk about it.
We don't talk. Okay. Get it, bro.
She and I are
You
fighting
know
about
how I rock with Sherry, dude. That's hilarious.
we're currently fighting about pie or cake on LinkedIn
That's
this morning.
right.
So
Today is your day to go to battle with her. That's
yeah,
right.
and that's been hilarious to
That's hilarious. Nah, she's cool. We don't need to talk about her
no,
anymore.
but no,
She's all right.
no, we connected through Sherry. I think I'm sorry, Sherry and I connected first, and then you were in the comment threads, and we had a similar energy. Okay,
Yeah.
I can play with this guy.
We're rolling. I mean, I saw you picking on her, and so right away I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
This guy gets it.
yeah. But that was I because I jumped on LinkedIn like full bore weird LinkedIn a year ago. A year ago this month. And I think we connected probably like right before like spring, like same time,
Yeah, dude, but it feels like ages, man. I feel
right?
like I've known you for so long. Isn't that crazy?
I love that in finding, you know, the connections and the friendships that I have made here on this platform where it is, you know, very natural and authentic and and you know getting the shedding the professional persona and getting to know the people behind the, you know, the title or whatever it is has just been awesome, and it's been a really easy way to make those connections and, you know,
Yeah,
ironically, like, help people in a way. But I've never been a networking kind of person. I've never had, like, I know a guy kind of a Rolodex.
yeah.
Um, and I just aged myself with Rolodex, by the way.
Bro, I use that
That's a
term
crap.
all the time. Keep Rolodex in the game, bro. I use my Rolodex.
But it's been, you know, over the last year, it's been really cool to go. It's like, oh, I think you two need to connect, or you two should have a conversation, or I think they could, you know, you two can benefit each other, and being able to do that and kind of carry the social equity where it's like, sure, yeah, I'm happy to talk to someone you know, has been
Yeah.
a really cool kind of evolution in my life, you know, slash career with wherever I've been. But just jumping in the comments and making friends like you and I have, or sharing, or, you know, hundreds and hundreds of other people has
100, bro.
just been
We have, it always tells
blast.
you, we have 155 other mutual connections. So, like, we are in
Yeah.
the same, you know what I mean? We got an army, bro.
Yes, we do. I love it.
Well, and that's kind of the magic of why I started Mutual Connections in the first place is I was trying to come up with a unique angle where I could
Hmm.
talk to legends like yourself and there's no like business intent
Yeah.
or objective. Like I am friends with so many people that are like, dude, we don't have any reason to ever
Yeah.
partner with you, but it's like I still wanna be your homie, like, we
Yeah.
could
Right.
still connect, bro, so
Yeah.
I created this little space that's, just essentially like, "Yo, I just get to hang out with my friends, we'll record it, and we'll carry the football from there," so
Yeah. Dude, it's
that's
beautiful. I love
dope.
it. I dig it.
Alright, let's take it back. I always
Yeah.
do this. We already started talking in the lobby, so I very quickly hit record, but I wanna go back to you were telling me that this year in comparison to last year has just been fast and furious, boots on the ground, full speed ahead, like, what have you been up to kick off, the year of '26,
Oh,
bro?
geez. To take an extra step back, you know, I have been working on building my own company for the last 3 years. Last year, because it orbits around the mental health care space, I had to get my company HIPAA certified, which took about 7 months.
Yikes.
Dude, that like
That was a
I'm glad
process.
I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it as a, you know, as a solo company right now, because had I like been generating revenue and more employees under, you know, working with me and whatnot, it would have taken significantly longer. But so last year it was a lot of hurry up and wait. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna chip away at the certification and do what I needed to do. And so it was just a lot of that. It's like, okay, I have to work on this today. It was a lot of computer work. It was a lot of, you know, shoring up, you know, our cloud services and code and all of this stuff. It was like, okay, I delegate this, do this, check this off. And it was one thing after another for 7 months. And, December hit, we got certified. I'm like, cool. All right, done. And I was pinging people to do some small LinkedIn ads just to kind of see the temperature of like, okay, do I have a crazy pants idea or not? So we did a little marketing campaign end of January, beginning of February, but it's just so surreal how like January hit and it was like, be on this podcast. I have a therapist for you to talk to. There's a coffee chat with a relationship coach who ends up becoming a customer. And it's just like, I understand that I've been doing the work and kind of like putting myself out there and talking about the company all of last year, but it was just so weird to go from like, okay, I feel like I'm twiddling my thumbs. I feel like I'm treading water and not really doing anything or going anywhere to sponsoring a podcast. Like I
Yeah.
am trying to coordinate a panel podcast to talk about, what I'm doing with other, kind of aware men who have been through this journey before. And, I'm working with the podcast host to try and coordinate that and all of this other stuff, onboarding clients, introducing the platform, being more active here and talking about being more active on LinkedIn, excuse me, not here, not the podcast, but the podcast too, but just
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
myself out there. It's weird how fast everything filled up and how much like I'm scheduling and planning further out than what I felt like I was doing last year. And it's been a whirlwind kind of a change in a good way, but it's like, holy crap, okay, it's here. Like
No,
I'm
I
on that
got you.
precipice. I'm on that precipice of like, okay, dude, you're like, you jumped. Now you have to
Dude,
make it work.
it's honestly, it's so exciting, bro, and I'm so proud of you because it sounds like so you spent this year or several years in the, like, build mode. Get the foundations, figure out the policies, obviously the licensing, and so that's a lot of really, really hard work that
Hmm.
isn't necessarily putting coins in the company pocket type of
Yeah.
thing, but then you kinda like you said, you hit the other side of that pendulum where now you're like, yo, dude, we built this rocket ship. Now we gotta take it to the moon. So
Yeah.
now,
I
like,
have to hit
your
launch now.
days
Yeah.
are filled with the actual benefit and value of hugs. Howe United Games, we're gonna get into it. But I think that that's like, that's probably that shift that you're experiencing of like, you're still building, we're still refining, but like, we flipped the sign on the door to open, baby.
Yeah.
Like, we're boots on the ground now. And that is so dope, dude.
Yeah. I was totally caught with my pants down with my first client.
Yeah.
I was on a coffee chat. It was a referral from somebody, their relationship coach. She's just an absolute sweetheart. And we were just talking and catching up, and I was talking about Hugs and the platform and what he does. And she's like, this is really cool. This is kind of what I'm working on. I'm like, are you interested in this? She's like, yes. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yes. Like, okay, like we'll schedule like an onboarding call so I can get you logged in and I can walk you through everything. It shouldn't take too long. But it was at that moment that I'm like, I have been so focused on just building that I was wholly not prepared for that next step. Like
Yeah,
somebody
like,
saying yes.
that's a consult. That's like
I'm
what
like,
you know what I
I don't know how to do this. And then so we get on board to get them all logged in and nothing was working out. This is my life. This is like great crash and burn, my greatest
love
fear.
it though.
And they were like, no, it's no big deal. It's okay. Just walk me through what you have and then I'll get locked in later. I'm like, okay. Um, but yeah, it was just hilarious. I'm like, okay, all right, now I have to put myself mentally I have to take myself out of like the building perspective because that is effectively 98% done. We'll continue to grow and add things, but the heavy lift is done. It's in
Yeah.
place, trademarks, copyrights, HIPAA certs, all of that stuff. And now I'm like, okay, now I have to shift the perspective from building and operations to sales and outreach
So like
and getting there.
running the
But
operations, dude. Yeah.
and then on the opposite end, it's like be prepared for people to say yes and make sure I can facilitate after yes.
Yeah.
So that was, December and January, and I've onboarded a couple other people since then, which has been super cool. Right now I'm giving the platform away just because I want to build up, um, just kind of, equity in the space of like, hey, this is not a
Yeah,
crazy pants
yeah.
thing. It has legs. There's value in it to you, but I want to show you how easy it is to use so I can get other people talking about it as well.
No. Dude, it's so exciting, man. It's
It
so
is.
exciting. You
It's
built
really,
the
really cool.
rocket ship and now we're going. Mm. Here's what I want to get into. I want to get into what we were talking about initially, but for my listeners, Howe United Games and Software, the best acronym ever. Hugs. Come on,
I went
dude.
full Willy Wonka on
Established
that one.
in 2019, incorporated in 2022. It's a created business aimed on empowering relationship professionals through innovative tools that optimize case management and enhance client therapist interactions. And the buildup to Nick's insane idea to build this rocket ship, like the background story, I think is so enthralling. It's vulnerable, it's gut punching. And so, I mean, not to say let's start from the beginning, but dude, Nick,
Yeah,
start from the beginning, bro. Like, how would, like,
sure.
bring the inception to where
Oh,
we are
man.
now?
Yeah, so I asked for a divorce right after my son was born. I was sitting there with my son, and I just had this kind of epiphany where I realized I was in this unhappy, unfulfilling relationship. And the kicker for me was not I was seeing issues in myself and in the relationship at the time that I was seeing in my parents and my grandparents. And so I'm sitting there with my infant going, okay, I have two ways I can go about this. I can either stick with this for 18 years and pretty much guarantee my son does the same thing I did.
Yeah.
Or I can be the bad guy in a lot of people's eyes and ask for a divorce, but at least put myself in a position to be the man and the dad that I didn't get for my son. And so I did the latter. That has been a uh, a 9-year journey of kind of awareness and introspection and self growth, and just really kind of like chipping away at who I really, really wanted to be. And those first few years really kind of identifying where I needed to improve to
Yeah.
be a better man and a better dad for Cameron, my son. We're big. Fast forward 4 years, Cam's 4. He can start talking about his emotions, put some sentences together. And he and I started this activity called Cups and Spoons. And it's an activity we do once a week. We still do it to today. And I ask him a handful of questions, before bed. What made you happy? What made you sad? Did anything make you sad or anxious? Did anything upset you? Is there anything I can do better for you this upcoming week? And depending on how he's feeling or how his week was, he'll answer whatever he chooses to answer. There's no pressure on him to answer, anything with depth. But if he answers something, it's an opportunity for me to just be curious in him.
Hmm.
The space itself did two things. It gave him a place to talk about whatever he needed to talk about when he knew there wasn't going to be any kind of punitive action. Because there have been times where he talks about how I upset him or I did something that he didn't like.
Yeah.
And as a parent, you can kind of like, you understand that there are two ways that can go. You can keep the parent hat on, go, well, you didn't do it this way. You didn't do it that way. You didn't do this. I said this, blah, 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 blah. Or for me, the space was I took that hat off. And it was a place for me to get curious and seek to understand who Cam was as his own individual. And having that safe space and having him know that it was a place for us to work together on whatever it was that came out or for us to talk about whatever it was, has helped our relationship so significantly. Like Cam is more emotionally well balanced and communicative at 9 than I was at 35. Like
Boy, bet.
he is not afraid to speak his mind in a way for him to help, in a way for him to say things for me to seek understanding, not necessarily go, it's like, Dad, you did this wrong, or Dad, I didn't like how you did it.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't like how X happened. And, for us, it's like, okay, now Cups and Spoons has evolved from this one activity in bed before we go to sleep, but it's like, he'll say something in a certain way. It's like, all right, this is Cups and Spoons. Like he is bringing something to me and he is expecting me to sit and listen so we can work on something together.
Yeah.
And dude, it is so cool. I have a great allegory about it later on, but like, let me get it. I'll get through this. But so it was just like, it's helped us so much, be better people towards each other, but for me to be a better understanding parent, but for him to really kind of like sit in his feelings and find the words that he needs, because I never got that. Like, I never got that as a space for my parents. Like, I was
Yeah.
teaching him how to do this as I was teaching myself. But it's really, really worked. And I always had this nagging feeling in the back of my head. I'm like, "Hey, this is something that I want to introduce to other people. Like, I just don't know how to yet."
Mhm.
So fast forward a couple more years and COVID hits. Just the world is on fire, ironically again, and I started seeing a lot of couples just kind of like have this continuous discourse and always be in turmoil because they're stuck inside. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go.
Mhm.
And for me at the time, I'm like, well, and still to this day, I'm like, it shouldn't be like that. Home and your partner are your safe space. Like, it's you two against the world, not you two against the world and against each other. And that's
Yeah.
kind of when it clicked. I'm like, okay, I know where I can take cups and spoons. And so I stepped away from what I was doing at the time. I took 6 months to teach myself how to code, to build a really rough web application of what I envisioned. And I took that to development to build out an app, respectfully called Cups and Spoons. And it is a relationship building game that you jump on with your partner. And it takes you to, you log in, you create a username, you wake up with your partner, and it takes you to this game board. And the board itself is just filled with things to do with and for your partner, um, throughout the day and throughout the week. And it's just simple stuff. Like, they brought me a snack, they took out the trash, they did the tri-rated, they took care of dinner. But the app itself is just a medium of communication that can
Yeah.
take you less than a handful of seconds to go, hey, they did a thing, I'm going to acknowledge it. And the partner gets a ping, dopamine hit, serotonin, oxytocin, all the cool things. The best way I can describe it is it reinforces the mortar in between the bricks of the house of your relationship.
Yeah.
Shetty talks about, it's like, you have these bricks, you have these bricks, you try and build an ideal house together. You also need something to really reinforce it. And Cups and Spoons helps with that. Like, it helps, secure, solidify, or create a safe space. And in that safe space, your communication improves, your trusting your partner's decision improves, your emotional awareness of who they are and who they're, continuously becoming, and, increasing. So that's the app side of things. While I was building this app, I fell down this rabbit hole in the mental health care space, and I came across like crazy, creepy statistics in regards to, like, there are millions upon millions of people in therapy at any given time in the United States. And, there's 7, 8, 9 million couples in couples therapy at any given time. There's less than 300,000 licensed providers, not just serving couples, but serving
To anybody
the
in
mental
terms
health care
of
space.
providing
Yeah.
that type of therapy. Yeah.
And I'm like, like,
Yeah, those numbers are off.
that's a discrepancy. But as I started talking to more people, as I started to dig into the industry a bit more, like, most of those people are managing an individual practice. There's a lot more that they're doing besides just helping clients, And so the app evolved into Howe United Game Software. So we have also built a software platform that helps therapists better connect with their couple clients. And so they would
Mm.
log in to HugsHub, and if they have a set of clients that they want to introduce this app to, they would send them an email, which is, essentially a consent form and a link to download the app. But what that does is that links the therapist dashboard to this couple's usage. And so as they're interacting on the app, that information is transmitted in real time to the therapist. And so this works in a few different ways. It allows the therapist to really see who this couple is in between sessions, instead
Mhm.
of just kind of getting to catch up in the fluff
Like, when you don't
one
have the
hour.
spotlight on, you're
Yeah.
both sitting in the room right in front, trying to, like, be on your best behavior type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And so with that information, they get to see how this couple is interacting, when, what they're kind of naturally good at, the things that they can improve upon, what they may be avoiding. So there's a wealth of information that comes in just using the app a lot or even a little. And it's displayed in kind of a heat map for the therapist to be able to go, okay, I have a session with this couple in 10 minutes. I can look at their usage of this app, and in under 30 seconds, I have an idea on how they interacted with each other, positively at least.
Yeah, yeah.
But that information can also be used as as a strategic method to improve their session efficiency. They can tailor their practice to how this app is used and go, hey, I want you to use the app in this way. And it's very simple. Fill in 4 tiles. But in those 4 tiles, you really kind of see what somebody gravitates to and the efforts that they make in their relationship, but also like what's important to them. And in getting that information, we'll get to breakthroughs quicker. But it was all created to help really kind of reduce the mental load on the therapist in that's so stressful in working with couples specifically.
Yeah.
And so that's how we evolve as hugs grows. It's going to become a toolbox for a therapist to better manage their practice in its entirety. So it's not just this app. It'll be a handful of other apps for different kinds of clientele. We'll have other things in there that will help them advertise their practice when they want to advertise, tax professionals for them to reach out to when it comes to tax season,
Uh,
all of these little kinds of things
Sick.
because what I was coming across was like, okay, there's an app for like their EHRs, like healthcare record databases that they use, but there's also like different websites for like scheduling stuff. And then they had to do something else for billing. And I'm like, why on earth, if these people are stretched so thin already, why is everybody kind of like, they have 6 or 7 things to log into? I'm like, you're taking them
That's
away from,
bonkers.
and I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. So HubSpot will become a toolbox, more like an eco village.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, creating this entire ecosystem,
Yeah,
so it's like a one-stop shop when you are
exactly.
trying to, like, preserve the integrity of, supporting how you're communicating and trying to get the best out of it. That's crazy, man.
So, I'm talking to a couple other people in the industry who are already working on um, parts of the toolbox, who are already very good at parts of the toolbox that I want to incorporate later. And for me, I would much rather partner with the company and have us go far together than build it all myself. But yeah, that's what it'll become, is like one place for them to go for all of this instead of having to like go 6 or 7 different places.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a journey, and it's
Bro.
it just like it was weird, the compulsion that happened during COVID. I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Like I have to do this. And it took 3 years to build, and I never, like, I got scared a few times. Just like I just wanted to get a normal 9 to 5
Yeah.
job. And it is like every time I like jumped on the Indeed or LinkedIn and looked at app applying stuff, I'm like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. And so
That's
it's just been
wild,
this
man. There's
crazy,
a there's a
crazy
lot
journey.
to unpack. There's a lot to unpack. My
It was a
mind
lot.
is I'm about to pepper you, bro.
Go for it.
First of all, Nick, you're a good guy, man. You're
Appreciate
you're
that,
a
man.
really good guy. I could tell that you're an amazing father. I could tell that you're an amazing partner. Sometimes you have to call the tough shots, especially, like breaking a cycle of like seeing a family tradition of like, I'll use an example of like alcoholism. Like my parents used to drink a lot. And so in my household, we try to curb it,
Good
kind
for
of the
you.
same thing. But I want to go back first to the exercise with your son.
Yeah.
And because there's just a level of emotional intelligence that you're instilling in him so early. Like, you're the hardest thing for me, even today. I could talk on a podcast, I could talk business, I could talk shop, be friends, do jokes, but my ability to articulate my emotions and how I feel, I'm not great at. And there's always like a kiss, whether it's intentionally or unintentional, of tone in it. Like
Mhm.
if I'm talking about something sad that I feel, you're probably going to hear that sadness. And maybe that's sad. I think I'm sounding sad, but somebody else, my
Yeah.
wife mainly, might think that, you know, whoa, that's a little bit sharp.
Yeah.
And so just like what you are building and instilling in your son and in yourself is that ability to articulate that emotional intelligence where it doesn't feel so sharp on the receiving party is really the magic, man. Like that's incredible. I'll tell you, so my wife saved my life. When I first met my wife, I was not in a dope place. I
Yeah.
was in a band, touring, playing drums, and as you can imagine, that 3 a.m. nightclub experience what I was exposed to in that
Yeah.
landscape was not conducive of trying to build like a solid foundation for a family. And I
Yeah.
did not ever talk about my feelings. So we would fight a lot, bro. Not because like we were disagreeing, but it was always kind of that like it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. Like, and I was
Yeah.
so guilty of that. And so for a while, anytime there was a conversation that had to be a little bit heavy, we would do through text messaging because I could, if we subdued, we foregoed tone, and I could just use the words at how I was thinking about it in my
Yeah.
head without putting such a pressure on it. Thank goodness we've worked together. I've graduated at a text thread and I could talk to her about it now. But
Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you.
thanks, bro.
Dude, it's
Honestly,
not easy. It's
I
not
haven't
easy.
climbed the whole mountain yet, but I'm almost there. I feel more
It's a never
comfortable
ending
talking
mountain.
about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like just those early exercises with the hugs and spoons with your son, like you're breaking this generational train in most men that we just are not great emotional communicators. And so hearing that foundation and where you're taking it now into evolution into the mental health space and becoming a network for therapists and now even a software tool for therapists to be better at their job in any like counseling couple session and getting that insider info, like, dude, it just wow. You're just a good dude, Nick. What the heck, bro?
Come on,
What
man.
the heck,
Thank you. I
bro?
appreciate it. No, man, it was just it was an opportunity. It
Yeah,
was an opportunity to like good so the app, Cups and Spoons is free. There's no ads. It's like I paid to host it. Like I wanted to be able to give that away because I couldn't in my right mind gatekeep something that probably would have helped me in my marriage, but also has helped me in my relationship since then. I'm like who am I to make a couple bucks on wanting to make your partner happy. Because that's all the
yeah.
app is. I can look at it in under 60 seconds and go, I can do that now, or I can plan to do that this weekend and makes my partner happy. I'm like, why? I wouldn't that would just give me the ick. Like if I was looking to do that, I I I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah,
But I know it could help other people. And it just evolved to, how can I take something that's beneficial to other people and help have that utilized helping in industry and, other people as well. And obviously that's where, we generate revenue. But it was like, I couldn't, I wanted to get something back, man. Like I wanted
yeah.
to, it's the, have you ever been camping? Is like that rule that our parents instilled in us is like, leave your campground better than we found it. Like that's like hugs is going
No,
to be a multi-generational thing. I want to leave this world better than I found it.
it's just like, well, you're flipping the especially on, like, the partnership aspect of it. You're flipping the script on like, going back to what you said with the dopamine hit. If I'm sitting on the couch and my feet are up and the missus walks by and is like, "Hey, can you take the trash out?" Even just right then, I'm like, "Do you not see?" I'm like, "I'm chilling right now. You want me
Yeah.
to get up and take the trash out?" So you're flipping the script with respect to, I could pop into a quick platform and see like, man, if I take the trash out, it's gonna make the missus really stoked for
Yeah.
me. And then I'm gonna get my dopamine hit. She's gonna get hers and be like, yo, that's my guy right there. Didn't even need to ask him nothing. Like it's done. And that's magic, dude, because especially in my experience, some of the most ridiculous arguments that I've had with my wife stem from something so insignificant like you didn't take the trash out 5 minutes after I asked you, or that look that you gave me when I asked you to take you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it
Oh yeah.
just is so and you're just completely eliminating that into a position where now it's like, dude, if I go and do this, she's gonna be so stoked on me. And like now I'm building love and presence in my house
Yeah.
rather than these like ambiguous perceptions of how you think that I may have felt by you asking that question type of thing.
Yeah. And it's the entire kind of like one of the ideas and concepts that I built Cups and Spoons around is like you're using it to bank your relationship. Like you want to like your relationship is a job. The more you put into it, like the smaller things are less draw when they irk you. It's like you're like if you know they're willing to put forth the effort, like the little things aren't going to bother you as much.
Yeah.
In that, like, the curiosity and the understanding and the awareness starts to bud of like, okay, it wasn't that I wanted him to take out the trash. It was I wanted him to see that the trash was full to be able to just take it out and not asking him. It's like, okay, you can get to the crux of like in banking your relationship, you're like in knowing that the effort is there, you can bypass like the linchpin or whatever it was that started that or that would have started that, but then go, hey,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not looking for you to do what I say when I say it. I am wanting you to be aware of the things or just mindful of the things that I'm aware of
Yeah.
so we can feel like we're working together as a team. And that's, where Cups and Spoons starts is like it's a medium. It's a bridge of communication. It's like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a nice thing for my partner. And as you do that, as you put in, an extra effort a day or a week, like how much better off will your relationship be in 6 months or in five
Dude,
years? And
it
it's like, yeah,
compounds. Every activity, it compounds. Like you said, you're filling that bank.
yeah. And in that, you get more comfortable going, it's like, oh, okay, they didn't see it, but I trust that they will see it and take care of that. And then with that safety, you are more free to communicate and be more vulnerable and be more open. And it's like your partner's gonna be a lot more receptive to all of that. It Cups and Spoons isn't a magic wand. It doesn't work. Like you're not gonna download it. You're not gonna fill in one tile and your relationship
Yeah.
is gonna be
You
magically
always got to
restored.
put in the work. You
But you
got to
gotta
put
put
in
in
the
the
work.
work. It's just there to help give you ideas
Yeah.
and to help keep you accountable or like allow you to work together in that. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just if you play, like download the app, try it, and just be persistent. And I promise you, there's going to be a tile that pops up at some point, and it's going to click with you, and you're going to go, I can do that right now, and that's going to make my partner.
Yes, dude.
And that's all
Yes.
that it is. And it's like once that chemical like dump happens in your brain and you finally get it, you're like, oh, okay, I know
Dude,
why this works.
it's that shift from
Yeah,
I have to I get to.
yeah,
And when you get to the I get to do this,
yeah.
then sky's the limit. That's the magic. That's that compounding effect of
Hmm.
building your base at home. I know that you're so busy with podcasts and stuff, but I would be remiss. Obviously, I am a part of the Dad Good community,
Yeah,
and I'm just off the cuff. I would love to set up a webinar with all the yahoos in the Dad Good community. We got like 5,000 dads, dude.
sure, man.
I'd love for you to come and talk about the platform and the software and kind of what your mission is because like I said, I'm still learning how to articulate my emotions without it feeling toned. I
Yeah.
have a feeling it's going to be kind of a forever practice of something that I want to continue to put effort into.
Hmm.
And I know from seeing the messages and having personal relationships with other dads in that space, I'm not alone. And
Yeah.
that's why I love the magic of that space because one, it makes me feel like I'm not alone. It magically turned into a place where people can be vulnerable and kind of share that stuff that you wouldn't like with your best friend at a bar or certainly not with your missus, but I'm almost like mandatory that you come in and you talk
Yeah.
to some of these guys
Dude,
because,
happy to.
I they're gonna get the same benefit. I'm about to download this app right now and start running it up with the
It's a
missus.
it's a good board this week. So
Yeah?
I fun fact. So the game board resets every Sunday. The database that we pull the items that are in the tiles for is over 350 items. So
Dang.
you and your
Nick trying
partner.
to make me busy, bro.
So 24 items are randomly selected and they're populated in the board every Sunday. So you're never going to see the same game board twice. You and your partner don't have the same game board either. Like you'll have the same 24 items, but they're going to be in different spots. And that's to encourage a little competition.
Okay.
And one of the fun little things that we kick in there is like if you fill in a row of tiles, you'll get this additional prompt to just encourage a bit more communication. Like some of the questions that you'll get asked are goofy or a little bit deeper, but it's like there's something to continually strive for every week. And one week that board may not be great. You may be able to fill in one or two squares, but nothing there is
Yeah.
inspiring. Other times, like this week, dude, I'd be all over the board this week.
Let's go.
I
So
would
this
have
is
this.
this is the week to get
This
the
is
app. We got a
this is a
fireboard
good.
this
It's a good
week.
week to get the app.
Let's go. Come on, man. Okay, so then shoot, whether it's I mean, I might just ring you on the Dad Good Community Podcast. We'll schedule a separate webinar for all the community members. This is
Yeah, dude.
powerful, dude. And like it just super speaks to who you are. It's
Thank you.
like just
Appreciate that.
disgustingly clear that you were blessed with this mission and this ambition to identify something that a lot of people don't have access to. And like, come on, bro. I thought you were just a silly goose on the platform.
I'm
And
a silly goose. That
you're a
hasn't
silly
changed.
goose, but you know what I mean? You're dude, that like I'm honestly just awestruck in what you've built and the that's why I wanted you to tell the story because I knew that the mission, the foundation of you deciding to scale and build something like this came from something like so vulnerable and so honest. And it was probably one of the darker periods of your life. And for you to be able to leverage that and turn it into the rocket ship now, like, come on, dude. That's the dream. Oh, like anybody who's working, male, female, kid, like work is love made visible. Khalil Gibran from The
There you go.
Prophet, he said that. Work is love made visible. So the ability to work and spend your time on something that truly brings love and value and lights up your soul, that's like that's the dream, dude. And so
Mhm.
you're living the dream, and I'm so stoked that you came to talk to us about it today.
No, thank you, man. It was a pleasure to finally get to, finish the story and share a little about what I'm doing. But again, like if I consider it a win if I help one couple,
Yeah.
my job is done.
That's
I
it.
have
That's
I
how I
have
look at
loftier goals.
LinkedIn, you know?
Yeah,
Everybody's so vanity metrics and impressions, but dude, if I could get one Yahoo to pop in my DMs, especially after like a deck collection post, which admittedly does not perform very well at all. Yeah, go figure, huh? That's not the hot topic on the platform. But if I could
LinkedIn's
get
doing something
one
wrong.
dude, yeah, to pop in and go, hey, you know what? That was pretty good advice that you said earlier. Like, hey man, I read this part and that kind of helped me with my business. Then I might as well just shut down shop, close the laptop. My day is done, dude. Like
Right?
somebody was picking up what I was putting down. They saw the
Exactly.
value. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here before I get carried away. So
There
that's
you go.
beautiful.
Love, man.
Man, at the 45 mark, I know you have a busy day ahead of you. I got a bit of a day ahead of me. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But my man, Nick, come on,
Dude.
dude. Thank you so much
Again,
for hanging out.
again,
Nothing
sir,
changed. Like
please.
nothing
No,
changes. I'm still, talking smack in the comments. I'm still bugging you in the DMs. But finally, I got to
we
finish the
good.
story and solidify this face to face that stemmed from a 15-minute coffee chat. And that is the magic, bro.
There we go. Love it.
So, everybody tuning in, I'll make sure I put all of the different ways to get in touch with my boy Nick Howe into the description. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Obviously, all the main posting and information is done on the LinkedIn platform. We try to post new videos at least every other week. I had a bit of an internet problem for a while, so my streaming ability was not proficient, but I'm back in the game and we'll catch you on the next one. My guy, Nick, thanks for hanging out, baby.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
See you, bro.